In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the upgraded method of cutting and sewing a jean jacket. I'll be sharing with you a cutting technique that you can use to sew a jean jacket with any style line of your choice for either a boy or a girl. I'll also be sharing with you interesting sewing techniques that you can use to deliver a neatly finished jean jacket. In fact, a boutique standard jean jacket. Greetings everyone, and welcome to the fourth series on our streetwear tutorial, which is a jean jacket. Quickly, let's get started. So we are going to be drafting on a paper so we can add as many style lines as we want, but trust me, this is very easy. So first, I'll go ahead to measure my shoulder measurement divided by 2, mark it out. On that point, I'll go down by 1.5 inches, connect it from the 1.5 inch mark to the tip with a slanted line. Now I'll go ahead to cut this out. Next, I'll go ahead to measure 1.5 inches away from the slanted line, or mark it all the way to the sides, and I'll connect these dotted mark lines together with another slanted line. Next, you are going to create a fold on this new slanted line, and this would help to move the back shoulder to the front a bit. You'll notice that the fold is exceeding the back center, so you just go ahead to trim it out to make it equal. I'll be using a brown paper to cut out the front. I'm going to be placing this underneath the back fold like so. Just ensure that it is also seated on an equal line with the back center. So to keep this down, I'll just go ahead to pin the front and the back pattern paper together like this. Okay, I'm done with that. Make sure it is seated equally. So I'll go ahead to refold the back fold like so, and I'll also pin this down to keep it down. So next, I'll go ahead to measure my shoulder measurement divided by 2, and I will extend it by 1 inch so that the shoulder can drop a bit. I'll use my shoulder measurement divided by 2 for my armhole depth. I will measure the total of what I have on my shoulder on that my armhole depth point so that I can get a straight line. I'll connect the marked outline like so. Next, I'll measure my bust measurement divided by 4, and I'm going to be adding 2 inches. You can decide to add more than 2 if you want your jacket to be very big. I'll measure the same thing I measured on my bust on the full length, and I'm going to be connecting these 2 points out with a straight line. If you have a bigger hip, you can use your hip measurement divided by 4 on the full length and on the bust point. So I'll just go ahead to draw my armhole curve. You can use your freehand or your French curve. Please do not forget to measure what you have as your armhole curve. The armhole curve of your jacket should be bigger than your real armhole circumference because it is a free jacket and your armhole is not expected to be tight. We will also be using this measurement to cut out the sleeve cap. So I'll just go ahead to measure my full length. Whatever your full length is, subtract 2 inches because of the waistband at the down. So I just went ahead to cut it out on the full length like so. So I'll just go ahead to cut out the armhole and the size of the jacket I want. So from this point now, I'm going to trace out where the back fold touches the front part like this. Just trace it out and indicate this as the front pattern and this as the back pattern. So I'll just go ahead to be making some alterations on the front part. So from the top, I came down by 8 inches, and I'm going to connect this all the way to the armhole like this. This is for the first tie line. Now I'll go ahead to mark 2 inches at the down and 2 inches at the top. I'll just go ahead to connect these lines together. You'll be seeing the essence of this later on in the video. Starting from the tip here, you go ahead to measure your neck width of 3 inches and you mark it out. To mark out the depth, you are marking the depth on this new line. So you go ahead to mark out 3 inches depth on this new straight line like so, and you are going to connect these 2 points together with a curve like this. You go ahead to notch the shoulder fold like so, and you remove your pin so that you can cut out the neckline. Now you are cutting just this point, you are cutting just this one, and your cutout should follow a curve like this. All right, it should follow a curve like so, and you are cutting out just the shoulder fold. Okay, just cut it following this curve that you made, just the shoulder fold into the front part. All right, you are not cutting the back piece, you are cutting just the shoulder fold. Then you are going to connect this your front curve to the front center like so. Then you go ahead to follow the curve, cutting only just the front piece. This cutout should not touch your back pattern. I'll go ahead to unpin the both pattern, and I'm going to cut it out on the front pattern where the back fold touches the front pattern. I'll go ahead to keep the back pattern aside, and we are going to be working on the front pattern. Now this step is very important. Remember this 2 inches line that we mark on the front pattern. You must cut it out. Cutting this out will make your jacket to gap easily on its own. This is one thing that differentiates a jean jacket from a button shirt, so go ahead to cut it out. So next, you are going to come down on your front center away from the neck depth by 1 inch, and you connect it with a curve like so. Then you just go ahead to cut this out. Next, you are going to be adding more style lines. From the front center, I measure 2.5 inches, and then I measure 3 inches away. At the down part, I'm going to measure 3.5 inches first, and I'm going to measure 2 inches after my 3.5 inches mark. I'm going to be connecting these mark points to each other like so to create my style lines. Alright, you can create any style line as you desire. You can create one if you want. Before you cut this out, please indicate where the shoulder is. Also label this as alphabet or number, whichever you remember. Do not forget to indicate where the up part is so that you will not mistake the up for the down part before you go ahead to cut it out. So I'm going to keep these pattern pieces together, and this will be all for the front. I'm going to take the back part, and I'm going to fold in this shoulder part. I'll flip this to the right side like so, and from the top part I'm going to measure 7.5 inches, and I'm going to connect this to the armhole straight up like so. From the back center, I'll go in by 6.5 inches, mark it at the top and at the down, connect it with a straight line. Before cutting it out, I'll indicate where the up part is, where the side is, and where the back center is before I go ahead to cut it out. And this will be all for the back. And I'm going to just pin my pattern pieces together, and I'll keep this aside. So I cut out a pattern that is as wide as my armhole circumference. I'll mark out 4 inches at the corner, connect it to the top with a slanted line, measure my sleeve length. Whatever your sleeve length is, subtract 3 inches because of the cuff links at the tip of the sleeve. Then you go ahead to mark it out, and I'll cut this out as the sleeve length. Now I'll go ahead to make a curve on my slanted line like so. First you just come up a bit, then you go down a bit with a curve like so. Alright, so now for the round sleeve at the tip, you're using your round sleeve measurement at this point and not your measurement at this point. So I'll go ahead to measure my round sleeve measurement like I just explained, and I'm going to mark this out like this. So I'll use my straight rule, and I'm going to connect it to the armhole like so. Please do not forget to confirm your sleeve cap as it is equal to your armhole circumference. You also confirm your round sleeve. This point should be bigger than your actual measurement so that the sleeve can be a bit baggy. So I'll just go ahead to cut it out. So next we are going to be cutting this out to create a 2-piece sleeve. So from the down part, I'm just going to mark out 4 inches, and I'll mark out 2 inches at the down, and I'm going to connect these 2 points with a line like so. Indicate it with numbers so you do not mistake it up. Okay, just label it accordingly so that you can remember before you go ahead to cut it out. I'll keep this aside, and this will be for the sleeve. For the pattern transfer and the sewing technique, kindly check the description box for the link to the detailed tutorial. Thank you so much, and see you in my next streetwear tutorial. Bye.